Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Macy here, and I just want to go through maybe how to download and upload documents on assignments. I've been hearing lots of children and maybe some teachers are getting a bit muddled up, so I thought I'd do a little video to go through the steps with you on how to download and upload work, especially using Microsoft Word. I've logged in as a child from Mrs. Morris's class. I'm just going to quickly go into the Teams. And I'm going to go, you can see all the posts there, which I'm sure by now you're all pretty much experts at. I'm going to go to the assignments, and the assignments that the teachers posted are up here, okay? When you finish them, they go into the completed, so that you can see there's a few left to do here. So I'll just click on this one. It's due tomorrow at just by midnight, so you've got plenty of time. So if I click on that, there's instructions here from the teacher, and then there's some work. You can see here there's a Word document on my Kamopugo, so I'll just click that. It'll open that up in Teams, but you can't work on this. You can read it, but you can't do any work on it as such. And you can see Miss has asked you to answer some instructions, some questions, and include a short fact file, okay? So I need, first of all, to download this, okay? Otherwise, I can't do anything with it. Now, if you're on a desktop or a computer or a PC and you've got Word on it, if you go up to these little buttons here, the best way for you to do it is to download it, okay, and open it up in Word. And I'll go through those steps first. If you don't have Word on your computer, say you're working from an iPad or maybe a MacBook or something like that, you will need to open it up in the desktop app, okay? That'll open it up on Microsoft Word Online, which you all have if you've logged into Teams. And you may have realised it's here, okay, in these little buttons up the top. So say you want to do some work on Word on your iPad, you can do that by clicking that, as long as you've downloaded the Teams app. But for most of you, the easiest way, if you've got Word on your computer, is to download it. And I'll go through that first, okay? At the bottom, you can see it comes up here. And this is really, really important. First of all, you need to open it, okay? To check it's okay. It'll open up Word in a second. Okay, here it is. Now it's in Word document and it's a read only, so I'm going to need to save this. And this is where some of us are getting a bit muddled up. Now, first of all, you need to make sure you give it a different title, otherwise it looks exactly like the one Mrs. Morris and Miss Hughes has saved. So I'm going to call it My Kamopugo, Mrs. Macy, so I know it's mine. Okay? Before I press save, I have no idea where it's going. So I always double check by going to browse and making sure you know where this work has been saved. So at home, maybe your parents have set up a little folder for you for all your work. I'm not sure. So Mrs. Macy is going to put hers in my N drive. Okay, you won't have this at home, but you could do a new folder and you could have your name on it. I'm going to put Mrs. Macy. So all my work while I'm at home is going to go in the same place. It's up to you. Okay. So I called it Mrs. Macy and it says My Kamopugo, Mrs. Macy's Word document. I'm going to save that. Now I've saved it in my name. Now I can do lots of changes to it, okay? So I'm going to go down to the bottom and just quickly do something. Mrs. asked you to write at least 8 different questions you could ask Michael. So I'm just going to quickly say, where are you going to keep your medal? Okay, because he's just had a knighthood. Now imagine I've done all my work and I've finished, okay? You might want to highlight it to make it stand out so it doesn't get mixed up with Mrs. work. It's up to you. I'm going to save it one more time. Now I need to go back and upload this file into Teams, okay? So I'm just going to go back and click on my internet one. Now this is the original copy from Miss. Do you remember? I'm going to close that down. I don't want that anymore. And most of you are probably getting quite good at this by now. My assignments are still loading. We need to go into the add work section. So typical Mrs. Macy's computer is having a funny moment. Let me just go back into posts, go back into assignments. See, even Mrs. Macy has lots of glitches. Oh, goodness me. Let me just put my password in for the millionth time today. And cross fingers. Here we are. It's woken up. So I need to go back into the task that Miss sets me, okay? Now that's her document. I need to add mine, the one I changed to. So I go to add work. Now this is why it's important to know where on earth you saved your work. Now I didn't save it to the OneDrive. Do you remember I saved it in a folder called Mrs. Macy? So I'm going to go upload from this device. Now I need to go and find it. I put it in my N drive. I could go to the search bit at the top and type in Mrs. And here it is, Mrs. Macy. And there's the work that I did. This is why it's important to know exactly where you're saving your work and what you've called it. Open. You can see it's loading. And then I'm clicking done. Okay, I'll get rid of this in a minute, just in case. I'm not going to hand it in, okay, otherwise I'm going to be taking credit for somebody's work. Now, another way you can do it, if I click on the original one again, do you remember? If you don't have Word on your computer, you need to go to Open in Desktop App. Okay, click on that. Not that one, sorry. Mrs. Macy's having a funny moment again. Oh, get away. Sorry, open in browser. Mrs. Macy was having a funny moment there. Okay, open in browser, not open the other one. Now this has opened it up in Microsoft Word Online. This is really useful if you're working, if you don't have Word on your computer. Okay, so again, it automatically saves this one. Okay, so you need to make sure that you go to File and Save As, because at the moment it's called the same document as Mrs. Morris, so this is going to cause some serious problems. So again, if I go to Save As, okay, at the side, I'm going to make sure I've changed it. So do you remember I called it Mrs. Macy? So I'll do that. And this is another top tip, save to another folder, because at the moment I still haven't got a clue where it's going, and I need to know this, otherwise I won't be able to upload it. Okay, now I'm going to save it in my OneDrive, okay? Click Save. There's nothing there at the moment. Okay, and cross fingers, that's saved. Okay, all saved. I've done my bits and bobs. I'll just put some something on it to make sure that you can see that I have done something on it. Okay, I'm saving that again. It automatically saves, you don't have to do anything. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my assignments, back to closing that down. That's what that miss had, if you remember. We don't want that one. And that's the one I uploaded earlier. I'm just going to go to Add Work. And here's my OneDrive here, okay? And I'm going to this, but this is where you'll find your work that I just saved now on Microsoft Word Online. So click that one, attach, and there it is. So you see that this is why it's really important to change the title. Otherwise, you can see why people are uploading work the teacher's given them, but they haven't done any work on it and they can't find their work. So this is really important. When you're done, you click hand in and that's it. The teacher will know that you've handed your work in. They will look at it. They'll write a comment and then they'll return it to you and then you can see what they said. So before I do anything else, I'm going to make sure I've deleted these. I'm going to remove them because I don't want this poor child having my awful work on it, and I can go back. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Remember, if you don't have Word on your computer, you need to go, you've got plenty of the Microsoft apps are there which work on tablets, but I would suggest when you're doing this that you do actually do it on Word and you save it, okay? And be very careful about what you call it. Okay, hopefully that'll help you. Speak to you soon. Ta-ta.